Welcome back. Welcome back to the Talkative Sports Podcast. We have our usual characters, Shags, Kaz, and we have a guest coming in for the first time. Let's welcome our sub in for Marcus, the Man City fan, the Barcelona fan himself, Samson. Welcome to the
Sir,
podcast,
yes,
Samson. So, our first topic for the day.
City.
Man City. So Samson, you're up first. Obviously Man City have been conceding a lot of goals lately. We've had a couple bad results, run of winless games. Do you think your defense is costing you a chance to, what was it, four-peat this year?
that is a great question. And thank you
That is a
very much.
great question. Thank
Aston.
you very much. Aston.
So again,
So
based
again,
off of
based
what
off
the
of what
question is
question
Man City planning
is Man
going
City planning
to them
going
defense at the
to
time?
them is at the table.
So we know that
So we know
for you
that
to
for you
championships,
championships,
defense is needed. Is that
defense is
correct?
needed. Is that correct?
We do that a lot
We've had a
in
lot
basketball,
in basketball,
and I do believe that
and I do
translates
believe that translates
a lot of sports, if not all the
a
sports.
lot of sports, if
So
not all the
right
sports.
off the bat,
So and for
are
that,
you trying to tell me based on the
trying to
question
tell
that
me based on the question
they're
that
defending too much,
they're
or their defending will cost them a chance at the title? First of all, their defense is what's going to get them that championship. And also, as I see it, and as I see where their current standing is, we just won the FIBA World Cup, or what is it called, FIFA World Cup. So when we talk about chance at a title, we just got one title, and now if I am to look at it, we're top four, and we're only like 3 points away from being the first. And also in Champions League, we're still in it. So there's a lot of things that goes in with Man City, and we're doing a lot of things right. Bear in mind, Kevin De Bruyne is not here, which is my favorite Man City player, and also Doku. Doku has been great for us this year, and honestly, he's a spark that we do need. His presence alone and his defense and all his activeness, I think, is definitely going to help us when it comes to the title.
Well, I mean, I don't know when Doku is going back, but Haaland has been missing for quite a while now. Um, De Bruyne, I'm not sure if he's going to be back up to speed because honestly, everybody on this table is worse off than they were this time last season. But Man City, especially being 5 points behind, it's not like they haven't been more points behind, but I don't know. I think this season we have stronger teams in Liverpool and Arsenal that got stronger, and then we have Man City where they're not quite the same. But
Technically, we're
I,
only
I,
two.
I
only two
Technically,
well,
because
with a
we're game
game
in
in
it,
hand.
game in it.
and we're about to play
And we're
our
about to
next
play our next
the last.
the last
Unless we have a bad
unless we have a
result,
bad result.
then I think there's something to talk about. But if we're to win that game and we're all matched with games played, we're only 2 points from Liverpool.
Yeah,
So
you mentioned you mentioned defense. I was about to say, like, what defense? Like, uh, what's his name? John Stones is out now, right? He didn't he get
He
just
got
get
he got himself injured, correct?
Oh boy! So who's that leave? Let's go over Ruben Diaz. Is he still? Is he? He's still good, right? It's Ruben and Akanji and
Yep,
Ake. That's it,
yep,
right?
yep. Those
Mm.
are our players. So
And
I mean,
the center back turned left back that we all thought would be the revelation. What's his name? Guardiola. That's his name. Okay.
okay,
Him. Okay. That defense. Okay.
okay. I
Go
mean,
on.
then again, you can go by stats. How many goals have we conceded? And it's about, what do you call it, 21 goals, and that's like top three in the league. So
True.
even if we're playing defense, we're still scoring as much goals, if not more. So at the end of the day, we have to offset it. If we're scoring more goals than we're conceding, we're winning. But defense is we can our defense can be better because at this stage last year or when we regularly win, we don't concede this much goals. So I do see your point with that.
and Haaland not being there, I don't know if the goals are gonna keep flooding in like
Oh,
that.
the goals are gonna keep coming. The goals
Okay,
are keep
okay,
coming. Did you see the last game of
okay.
Phil Foden and my Argentinian brother, where they was just
Trust
was?
Phil Foden to be there every game, to be there with a goal every game.
It's okay. This is Man City.
Yes.
We all take prayers to score goals.
I don't think you can trust Phony Phil to score like he did this last game.
Do you remember Bernardo Silva also scored? So did Alvarez, even though Alvarez was a penalty. We have goal scorers on our team. There is more goal scorers we can have. Don't get me wrong. I love De Bruyne. I own him back. Haaland. There is more. So we have more firepower. But if we go at this pace, oof, forced to reckon with. And you guys know this.
Just one more question.
Go ahead.
Calvin Phillips, what do you think about his situation?
Expansion on the situation.
That makes sense.
What do you like in better?
He
What do
hasn't played a second this season.
Yeah.
We don't see him playing another second for Man City because they're in talks with Juventus that they want to sell him. So Pep has come out and said that, oh, he's done wrong by Calvin Phillips, such a good guy. Oh my God, he's a great guy, but I just can't get him on the pitch. So, what do you think about that? Do you think he should have gotten more playing time? Do you think he could have spelled Rodri and the other midfielders, or do you think Pep did the right thing?
Well, when you talk about players like Rodri, first of all, for me, he's a very important part in Man City's team. Now, when we talk about Phillips, first of all, I already said first of all. Second of all, this is a business. So when it comes to a business, if that's how Pep sees it, and it's a system game. It's not an individual game. And if you're not part of the system, or you can't play part of the system, then you don't belong there. And clearly, I think that's what Pep. Why
Why
buy
go
him?
all up for like they really were like, oh, this is a young guy. Train him, bring him up, then you don't play him.
Right.
What's going on?
As professionals, you still got to earn your spot.
Mm,
no matter who you are, everybody has talent. You still have to earn your spot, and that's what he didn't do. Right, he didn't earn his spot
just not good enough.
in Pep's eyes. So go ahead.
No, so just not good enough then for your team at the end of the day.
He doesn't fit the system. It's not that he's not good enough. It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit
I
our
like
system. No, they're all professionals. They're all making big money, so it just doesn't fit our system to the T. And that's what really matters. If you fit our system.
no, I never thought I've never thought it fit your system. I don't even know why he's in the English team, national
Right.
team like that. He is. So
Right.
Yeah, it's really tough when you have John Stones starting in midfield ahead of you and other guys, So yeah, I think Calvin will be best just, going to somewhere where he fits the system. I don't know why they signed him in the first place, but you know, sometimes it works out like that. So yeah,
Right.
it is.
And we can also use the example of, Pep getting rid of Gabriel Jesus. He wasn't doing his job. And then you have other strikers who are now more prolific and actually scoring goals, and the attempts they had, they're actually utilizing it. Compared to Gabriel Jesus when he was playing with us, he wasn't utilizing all those type of chances. Again, it's all about the system. You have to play with it. If you're able to do that, you keep your role.
Well, yeah, I think Man City definitely gonna sign some players in January too, so to cover that since they're not getting Cancelo, they don't want Cancelo back for whatever reason. But
Okay, I mean, we like spending. I won't be
yeah,
surprised.
yeah, 152 charges pending though, but we're not gonna talk about that.
It's okay. We're just looking at everything.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so next up we have Liverpool. Are Liverpool really gonna win the title this year? Are they titled pretenders or are they titled contenders? Like what's going on with them? What do you guys think? Me personally, I feel like Liverpool are winning the league this year, just because Man City might still go on a crazy run, but I don't think they have the personnel. This is about the time Man City will be starting their crazy run, and Arsenal. of course, the pretenders in chief. So my pick is Liverpool. So what do you guys have to say to that?
Um, I mean, I can't pick Liverpool, um, just because I still don't think their midfield is where it needs to be. Um, I still think they win the game they're supposed to win. I'll commend them for that. Um, but against the big teams, I still see some issues there. Like they're a team that they could lose against. Like let me see, like Brighton, Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham, teams like that. So, because I mean, they just tied Man U 0-0 at home. Like, and I don't know, like they can score goals, but their midfield play is too inconsistent for me to just say, oh, um, yeah, I agree with you that they're going to be champions. I don't know. Top four, yes. Champions, nah, I'm gonna have to wait before I just crown them that.
Well, here's the thing on Liverpool. They've only lost one big game this season, and that was Spurs earlier on in the season. Every other big team they've played, they either beaten or drawn against. And and that's because people show up against them. And it's like they're not losing against small teams. Arsenal is losing against small teams. Well, medium teams too. We have Man City getting some upsets in there, and they're injured. But Liverpool are super consistent, and I feel like just combine not because they're the best team in the league, but combined with their consistency and the way the other two are performing, I think they might have the best shot at winning. And I know you said they're midfield, but I don't know. I feel like they can vibes their way to the title because like those guys, McAllister, Endo, Zaboslai, those guys are decent options. Of course, they didn't get the Caicedo and the Lavia that they or the Bellingham that they wanted, but they're look as bad as Trent is in defending. Those guys are still winning games. Like let me see where they are on the table. They've lost one game all season. Everybody else has lost at least three.
Okay,
And
I can,
so the fact that they've lost one game and they're second, they're not first. Are they first?
they're first.
Oh,
They're first.
Now that are
Yeah, they're 2 points ahead of Arsenal, same amount of games.
okay. So I don't trust them. I'm sorry.
Right.
I just because yes, they've won these many. They haven't lost. No, you're right. They haven't lost. But like when I watch their actual, like their important, the games they have, like because they haven't really been in a situation where they've had to win any game this season like that. So it's kind of hard for me to judge on like, all right, what do you do when you have to win? But I can only judge on their big games, and they just haven't won enough of the big games for me. Like you said, they've won what, one of their big games or two of them, right?
I'm looking for a big game that they won, and I don't really see one against the top four. It's all draws here.
It's been
I guess the schedule might have been nice to them because the only they haven't played any team. They haven't played Arsenal or Man City yet.
that they played us.
Yeah, they played us in Man U.
And they
Oh
tied,
no, they drew against Man City. They drew against Man City 1-1 at the end.
and they drew against us. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but do you think what you think Man City is gonna go to Anfield and win? You think Arsenal gonna go to Anfield and win?
Man, you almost
Man, you barely survived that game. Come on, man. They did not almost win. No. I mean, so okay. You don't trust Liverpool. You don't trust Liverpool either, Samson. Who do you trust?
and City.
Oh my God. Okay.
Can I put my 2 cents?
Yeah.
So the one thing I think, just going off of what Zach was saying before, um, if they only lost one game, why are they only up by 2 points? It's because they are tying. They have tied more than they've tied more than Man City. They've tied more than Arsenal. They're losing points still. And again, some of these games you have to win. If you know you're gonna be you're gonna win the title and things like that, you have to separate yourself from the little boys, or there still has to be some
Exactly.
separation. 2 points is not much of a separation. They can honestly, we can talk about how the top four is the one that's going to challenge them in Anfield. Some of these bottom players, just like just like Chelsea, they can surprise.
Right. And
They,
I
can
Hey,
surprise.
hey, those two games that they've drawn
One of our
they've
last.
drawn two more, or
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna point out that they've lost two less games. Those were the two draws against Man City and Arsenal, against the top teams that they played. So
Okay.
it's like, but everything else they've won. So I don't know if I get that you don't trust them to be consistent, but I think when you combine the other teams, how inconsistent the other teams are, like I don't think you can really just say Man City is just gonna win it like that.
Hold on, they're not gonna.
well,
They're not just gonna win it like that. No. Go ahead.
well, Man City has been missing Kevin De Bruyne all season long. Like Haaland hasn't even barely played this season, and he still has 14 goals, but he's been missing for like what 3-4 games now. Like it's not like Man City has been at full strength. You know what I'm saying? So when Man City gets their two best players back, I mean, what do we say? Like any team that's playing without its best players is not going to be performing as well. And Man City is still top four without their two best players. That's why I'm like, oh, it's Man City. It's a no brainer. Like it's not even close. But we'll see.
And one thing I would like to say to that with Liverpool, while I don't trust them that much, is just like you were saying with De Bruyne and Haaland. I think if they had Haaland, if they had a consistent goal scorer, which we thought that was going to be Nunes, but if they have a consistent goal scorer, I think they will be farther than what they currently are right now. But they don't have that consistent goal scorer. I mean, you get goals here and there, but if you have a consistent nigga, a consistent player, where it's like, yeah, we expect a goal from him every other game or every game. Then
One. They have one. Salah.
we
That's it.
But Salah isn't even being consistent too. Like he's not scoring as much as he has
need help.
in the past. Yeah.
This
Oh, he's created the most big chances, but they're all falling to Nunes.
Yeah. Well,
That's fair.
in Salah's past years, he's had Sadio Mane, who's matched him with at least like 20 goals. So like you're like, oh, okay, who do we stop? Yeah. So now it's just like, let's just stop Salah and hope that these guys miss.
Interesting. So third place, we have Aston Villa.
Yes.
What are they doing there? Are they going to keep going up? Are they going to go down, stay about the same? Are they title contenders? Do we dare say? Because they are sitting on the same amount of wins as Arsenal and Liverpool. Fortunately for them, they've lost 4 games, so that puts them at 3 points behind Liverpool as we speak.
And that's why they're not title contenders, because they still have that, like, we can lose any game type shit. So I don't want to say it because they've kind of earned a bit of our trust, especially when they beat Arsenal. They
just beat
Tottenham.
Man City 1-0.
They beat Man City. So they spanked Chelsea, So I trust them. They'll make top 4. That's about it.
But they did also throw away a 2-goal lead against Man U last time out. So, yeah.
True. That's precisely why I can't contend.
Yeah, I don't call them title contenders either, because they don't have the facilities to hang out with the big boys. But definitely top four contenders easily. I think they're a dark horse. I think Emery is cooking something special there. Not sure why. I think they might be in like the Conference League right now, or maybe it's Europa. Maybe they'll make a deep run in that. But as far as title goes, no, it's not happening. It is not a Leicester season. I don't think that can happen again in the Premier League. But speaking of outside chances, didn't you pick Newcastle to win the league this year? Zach?
Yeah. Still in there.
You know something? That again?
Yeah.
Newcastle is sitting pretty in ninth.
What place? They're ninth.
4 points ahead of Chelsea. Yeah. It did, and I think injuries just put them off track. But hey, it is what it is.
That's really who put them off track. And I did say, if I recall, in season 1, if we can, I don't know if we can cut this and bring in my season 1 tape, but we can't. So I'll just say it. I did say in season 1, losing Alan St. Maximin will not be a good thing. I've always said that. Always. You're just going to let Alan St. Maximin go to some no-name club that he's probably going to be. He's still going to be a special player, but he's not going to be who he was at Newcastle because he can only be that for you. He can only be that for you. And you just let him go like that. Yeah. Well, there you go.
I think you said that earlier this season. Yeah, so we shall see. But I still stand by what I said. I don't think St. Maximin. Actually, that's cap. Because now with the injuries now, St. Maximin would have helped them up the table.
And I don't think there's anyone on that team that can do what St. Maximin does. Tell me I'm wrong. Yeah,
Samson, any thoughts on Aston Villa, Newcastle?
Aston Villa, I think they're not going to end the season as top 4. I think they're going to be number 5. Because it's too stacked, and I don't. We did.
So who do you think is going to take their place then?
We did talk about title contender, and you did make a point for Leicester. Leicester, when they won it, he was very convincing. They're not really having a convincing season like that. No. Who's gonna take their spot? That's a great question.
Because right now is Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Aston Villa.
Man City will reshuffle themselves to number 1, so there's no problem with that.
Right.
But Aston Villa being number 3. We have Tottenham and West Ham. At the end of the day, all he's only like 6 points behind these people. They only have to drop like 2-3 games. Next thing you know, they're down to the 6th or 7th place. So I think either Tottenham, I think it's Tottenham. Tottenham will be top 4, and they will reshuffle.
It's not a bad pick.
My Chelsea brain is rejecting that idea, but I have to come to reality and say Spurs are apart from that dip in form, which was terrible, and they did also lose again today.
They lost today.
But I don't know, between Aston Villa and Spurs, definitely. But West Ham also have a saying that I don't think Man U are finishing in top 4. I think they'll finish right where they're at, probably 6th or 7th.
I officially do not trust West Ham, but regardless of their win today, I don't care. I don't trust West Ham. I've seen them. I don't trust them because it's Arsenal. Come on. But don't count Newcastle out of that top 4 yet. Don't count them out yet.
Now this is spicy. Let me see how far.
I'm gonna go ahead and count them out. Because if you're gonna say don't count Newcastle out, you might as well throw Chelsea in there and say, oh, don't count Chelsea out. Nah, they're not making a comeback to top 4. No.
Yeah, we should definitely come.
Make it run. Make it run. but they can make it run.
So my thing is, they're down by 8 points right now. And I know the top four are not going to just all of a sudden start losing points like that. I don't see that happening. I don't see it happening.
Yeah,
They can
but
make it run.
it would have to make up ground against those games against top four teams. Is what I'm saying.
So you see them beating the top four teams.
Oh, Chelsea
Yeah.
or
Or
Newcastle.
we lost hope with Chelsea. I'm talking about Newcastle. Sorry, the one.
Oh, Newcastle. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think I haven't lost hope with Chelsea because Chelsea is kind of like Newcastle, where we can beat any team. I mean, we spanked Tottenham.
Spanked. How many people don't
How
spank
many
you?
people don't?
But we
We
can also lose to any team.
right?
That's the
No.
problem.
So that's why I'm saying that we're a team that like teams like us, a mid-table team like us. It's kind of like football, where if you can get hot at the end, like towards like the end of the season, and then go on a run. So I said we could make a run. I didn't say we could make top four. I said we can make a run, like at least
Oh,
run off a few games here because we're capable. We tied Liverpool. We played Liverpool tough. We played Arsenal really tough. Played Man City tough. Beat Tottenham. So we're capable. We just, but I mean, I don't know. We might not. We might lose 3 or 4 next. I don't know. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna save my Chelsea predictions for next episode because that will take a while and it's pretty dark and gloomy. But we have a team called Arsenal, the Gooners. Since Manny is here, I'll let all my slander fly. We have them, the specialists in failure, pretenders in chief. Are they real title contenders or not?
uh, since you're the reigning champion, what do you think, reigning champion?
our Arsenal title contender. That means are they gonna finish first place? Contender means are they like top four and they're fighting for the first place? Yes, they are title contenders. Contender.
Are they pretenders though? Because do they? Because there's one thing. There's one thing to contend, like you actually have a shot of winning, and then there's another thing to pretend, like you have a shot when you never had a chance in hell. So which one is it to you?
Oh, they definitely have a chance. They definitely have a chance. Like again, title contenders. I think they will finish above
I think they will finish above
this season.
Do you? Are you guys? You saw the loss to West Ham today. Do you think that's any cause for concern? For Arsenal. I posted a link and it shows Nicholas Jackson has more goals than all of their strikers, and they always want to slander Jackson.
Nicholas Jackson,
Um,
Chelsea,
Nicholas Jackson.
yeah,
the one with like the tap-ins.
not you. Yeah, the guy with the tap ins has more goals than all of their strikers.
Okay, that's excellent. That's excellent. You need to pick out the goals.
Just pick out the goals.
Yeah, he will, but we're not talking about Jackson here. We're talking about Arsenal. Is this loss against West Ham a cause for concern? Like, as the real Arsenal come out, is it like should this even affect them going forward? Because me personally, I don't think because they dominated that game and West Ham just David Moyes has his first win against Arsenal in his entire career. So he's been cooking this one for decades now. I think it's also his first win against a team in the top four. Me personally, I don't think it's a cause for concern for Arsenal. I still think they will continue to pretend for the title and act like they're gonna win and end up not winning. But they're still gonna be a good team and improve. I mean, let's say they sign Ivan Toney in January and they get a real striker. Do you think that increases their chances of winning at all?
Zach,
That's it, Samson. Or are you asking?
Go ahead, either of you. You go.
I mean, I have the same sentiments as you. You know how I feel about Arsenal. I said this last year. They're pretenders. Ain't nobody surprised by this shit. Like excuse my language, like they lose games like this all the time. It was just waiting to happen. They will go on a 4 game winning streak. Oh my god, they're perfect, and then they'll lose to like a bad team or a semi bad team or a game that we're like, how did they lose that game? And in the worst time when like everything is going for them, they're ahead. All you gotta do is just keep doing whatever they are doing. They don't even have to do anything crazy. They just gotta just do what you do, and they fold, and they'll fold again.
Mm. Yeah, because they could have gone top if they beaten West Ham today.
Easy.
We've been having this ongoing discussion about one Bukayo Saka.
Oh wait,
And
So that before we get to Bukai, I like that you mentioned it. They lost to the same West Ham that just got. They just took a beat down to Liverpool last week, 5-1. This is Arsenal.
Yep.
Yeah, I still don't think
So,
that's cause for concern. Still only have 3 losses in their record, so it's still no cause of concern. They're still title contenders, in my view. They have enough.
right.
They have enough amount of losses as Man City, and we're not saying the same thing for me. Don't get me wrong, Man City is different, but they have the same amount of losses with just like Man City. They're literally right there. I don't see why we're trying to hate on them.
Well, actually, that's a good thing you mentioned that. So they have the same amount of losses as what position is Man City again?
What position?
Man City is fourth. So Man City have a game in hand. So if Man City win the game in hand, they have the same exact record of 12-4-3 on 40 points.
Okay, so they have the same amount of losses as a team in fourth place. Okay, got it.
That's a crazy statement. Would you like to expand on that?
No, I was just making sure that was right because he said that they have the same amount of losses as Man City, thinking like, oh, it's Man City. Well, they're in fourth place, so they have the same amount of losses as a team that is struggling.
But are they really struggling though? Because if let's just say assume Man City win the game in hand, the top four will only be separated by 3 points. That's really tight.
No. I'm saying by a team that is struggling, as in Man City is struggling because they don't have their 2 best players. So we assume that
What?
they would
I
be
mean,
in position if they had Haaland and De Bruyne up to this part of the season.
true. But I think Man City struggling is still good enough for fourth place every season. That's a different level of struggle. It's like a low level struggling. But yeah. Speaking of Arsenal and their struggles, um, Zach has been putting our boy Bukayo Saka on magnifying glass recently. I recently discovered he has the same amount of open play goals as one Modric.
Not good.
Um, what's going on with Bukayo Saka? Has he continued to progress as much as he's supposed to this year, or has he kind of regressed? Because I remember Bukayo Saka last season, or maybe the season, yeah, last season, anytime goal scorer always hits. This season, nowhere to be found. So, what do you guys think about Saka? I know there's the Salah comparisons, and he's not even close. But do you think he can ever reach Salah levels of right wingness as a young African, well,
So
English striker?
um, a 30 goals Premier League scorer. Yes, I think he can, but he's shown me nothing to say that he's headed in that direction because he has like just I don't want to say he's declined. No, he's not declined. Still a young player. But what you don't want to see from a young player is stagnation, especially a young player like him that, like, oh my God, he's Bukayo Saka now, the English Young Player of the Year. Um, yeah, what you don't want to see is stagnation. And I think I blame that more on him. Um, I don't know, maybe uh, less. Miami lunch dates with the Kardashians and more time on the facility. Yes, I bring it up. Yeah, because Kim Kardashian says he's her favorite soccer player, and I don't like when someone is a Kardashian's favorite anything. It does not just as all the previous guy, Kanye, Travis.
No, it's not. It's Kanye's son's favorite. It's Saint's favorite, not Kim. But I get what you're saying there.
So I blame this on him. Stagnation is normally I blame it on whatever your routine was. Maybe you ran away from your routine. I don't know what it is, but it's like you can't really put it on anybody else because when you were winning those Young Player of the Year awards, we're like, oh, Bukayo was great, but now who are we gonna put it on? So
I would
yeah,
say he still has like at least half a season to prove himself because I'm
yeah,
looking at his goals per season, and if he scored 8 this year, he scored 15 last year, and if he can just score 8 more, he'll be on 16, which is one better than last year. So not bad. What do you think, Samson?
I've never trusted Saka. I've,
Dang.
I've never trusted him, and his previous successes, I think, has been a fluke. Maybe not.
maybe not.
Again, I didn't want to say,
Again, I didn't want to say
right,
right.
but like for a man with his stature, I think you always have to overwork yourself, and you always have to prove yourself. And I think he needs to be consistent with that because if he's not overworking himself, is not, and if he's not being better, just like you said, stagnation is just gonna be a mediocre in our eyes. And I think we're trying to look to him as being a special kind of player. I mean, he's trying, just like you said, he won a Young Player award, so he has a lot to live up to. And again, a player of his size and his stature, just like says, it's not like Messi, but someone with his size and stature, you have to always work hard. I recently saw he dyed his hair. I don't know what's going on with him, but it looked good. It looked good.
It looked good.
Goes to show you that
Show you that
other points in his life more attention to rather than him actually trying to improve as much. Because if he's actually trying to improve as much, trust me, we will see it in his results. But I think he's playing good again. The way he plays, I am very surprised at sometimes how he plays. But he's a good player. But if you want to talk about him being a great player and also want to bring over Mo Salah is a different beast. Mo Salah is a different beast. In Egypt, they know Mo Salah's name. In Nigeria, they just say Saka.
You
We
said
just
it.
Like they worship
They worship.
or Saka is just one of our little brothers who made it to the league.
Basically,
damn. All right. Well, I guess the people have spoken. I don't. I agree with Samson. He has to work harder. He has to want it more, or else he'll never be that special player. Um, because I could like he said, our little brother that made it to the league. I really want him to go as much as I hate that he's an Arsenal player, but maybe he definitely needs to step it up and if he ever wants to reach those levels.
absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
I believe. Like I said because you said 30 goal per year Salah type player. I absolutely think he can. But he just hasn't done anything that shows me, oh, he's trending there. That's all I'm saying. He's just there. That's not good. you know, you want to be like Jude, trending upwards, doing more and more and more. Then we'll be like, oh, you know.
But to me, it comes easier for Jude than Saka. The way Jude be scoring
Yes.
his goals, you just see him run up the hole from a half line, run up the whole pitch, gone, and then he don't score. Again, I think it goes to do with your physique and things like that. Because if you're a tall guy, for me to launch my leg like this, I just have to take a few steps. And next thing you know, I can maneuver. But you have to be a great player with whatever you have, whatever
Great
kind of
instinct, like especially a midfielder coming from midfield, scoring 17 goals in what 16, 18 games. That's insane. Like
right.
you have to have great instincts. You just have to have that want it mentality. Like this is my ball. It's going in the net type attitude. And
Absolutely.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I do see him. It's possible for him to reach that 30 goal season. The only thing I see with that is just like Jude, your teammates must recognize you as one of the top goal scorers. They'll
You have
need to
to earn
look
it.
for you. Yeah,
You have to earn
absolutely, absolutely. Once you start scoring this different kind of goals and different barrages, they'll be like,
it.
all I need to do is give him the ball. He's going to score.
That's
Critical.
it.
That's what we want from our striker. When we give you the ball at critical moments, bury it. Because,
Yeah.
bro, I'm running just to pass you the ball. And you miss it? Come on, man.
Gonna
That's
pass the ball next time. Might pull a Raheem Sterling.
man, I'm doing it
Man,
all
I'm
on
doing it all on
get paid, everything cool.
my. Very unfair comparison, but our fact. But Saka is also 2 years older than Bellingham at 22. So yeah, crazy, right?
Still young. Like
Hmm. Very young, very young, very young. Um, since we're speaking about other leagues, we have our final topic for today. Bayer Leverkusen and Xabi Alonso
yes.
are top of the Bayern Liga with 16 games played, 13 wins, 3 losses, and 3 draws, and 0 losses.
Might I they are the team in the Bundesliga to ever do this. Yeah. Yeah.
So you're telling me Bayern have never went unbeaten for 16 games in their own league?
Not to season. So this it really because this is like whoa, like Xabi Alonso. He's a relatively new coach, right? He just got hired there. What 2 years ago, 3 years ago? So he's had a little time to build his team up, but I remember ever since he joined, they've been winning. They've been in. Not just that they've been winning. They've been a very impressive team. Just like watch them play, all that. I mean, my goodness, they were able to make top four with starting Callum Hudson-Odoi. Yes, those were shots. It's okay. Okay.
Shots fired.
I
Yeah,
gotta
he's been there since October 22. So it's like he's barely over a year and he's seeing these results. And this is like his first top coaching job. He started at Sociedad B. So yeah, I haven't really watched. Well, I never watched Bundesliga, but maybe I'll have to tune into some Bundesliga because hopefully, honestly, as much as I love Thomas Tuchel, I would love to see Bayern not win their league for once. I think it's like they're on like year 13 in a row. But
yeah.
yeah. So do we Xabi Alonso come again?
No, I said they should change the Bundesliga's cup to just Bayern's cup.
It's a Bayern Liga. It's theirs to lose every year. You saw what happened the last day of last season.
Yeah.
But,
Oh my god.
do we think like Xabi Alonso has what it takes to actually win the league in Germany?
Yeah.
I mean, he's showing that he has something. And I think this is what we want to see from Arsenal and from Aston Villa. This kind of record right here is impressive. It's like kind of like it reminds me kind of like Leicester. Like they really want to win this. And I have how many losses do Bayern have this season? Only one. Bayern is right there. It should be the Bayern is literally right there. So what they've been doing, if they can keep doing it, I think they can win the league. But if they slip up, Bayern is there to remind them that to the last day, competition, you let you guys know to earn it. So
They're gonna be there right behind the whole time.
absolutely, absolutely. So
The
do I think they
saddest
can?
part about last season, sorry, the saddest part about Dortmund losing on the last day last season was they lost to like a relegation team. What's even a good team?
I feel like Bayern, they send their goons to that relegation team's players and they're like, yeah, we're gonna need you to win. We need you to win or your family is gone.
No,
Um, well,
I, I,
yeah,
I think the opposite. I mean, I'm not sure if you were serious about that with the goons, but I think the opposite, and I think the other team just got lackluster. They got complacent. They think they was just going to handle this regular team like it's nothing, and that was their downfall. Because they can easily regular relegation team, you can easily beat
They
that
were,
team.
they were not a good
But
team. They were
also
that team.
thought of you can easily beat them was what was their downfall.
Yeah.
but it's like how do you think that on the final day of the season you gotta go out like Dortmund? Like I think it's look. I'm definitely joking about this, but I don't know. I don't know. Somebody needs to do an investigation because like all they had to do was beat that team. All they had to do was win against one of the worst teams.
The thing with Dortmund, they do have this history of folding. So it's there's some black cat running around that organization. I don't some over there just ain't right. Like they make really good talent, and then when you come to like, oh, okay, can we win like something? Something happens. Some bad thing. Lewandowski leaves. Marco Reus gets injured for 2 years. Something happens that just okay. Haaland left. Jude Bellingham left. So something's not right there.
Yeah, I would call them the Spurs of Germany, but
They're
I don't
very
know.
serious.
I don't know if that's disrespectful to them or yeah, yeah. That's kind of disrespectful to them.
Wait, how many days has it been since Spurs have won a trophy again? I'm sure. I'm sure X knows.
I got you. Let me pull it up real quick.
Oh, because Samson, there's a page on X that updates us on like every day that passes by since their uh, Spurs last won a trophy. So he's updating us. How long has it been now?
You know what they should do? They should start a page for the Detroit Pistons.
No, those guys are gonna win a game. Those guys are gonna win eventually. But
Not
hey,
next time they're playing. I think they're playing Celtics. They're not beating Celtics.
Yeah. Oh man.
The streak goes on.
they're gonna beat somebody.
I'm
The
I'm
Rockets.
I'm with Kevin Wild on this question for the Detroit. I, the Pistons, if they rebound, they have a good chance of beating the Celtics. Just rebound. That's all I can say.
It has been a grand total.
Just rebound the basketball. That's it.
Score a point.
Don't worry about scoring. Don't worry about that. Just rebound. Get the rebound. Because y'all gonna miss a lot of shots. That's uh,
All right, you guys ready?
yeah.
It has been a grand total of 5,786 days since Spurs last won a trophy, which equates to 15.8 years. So, on that note, um, let's pray that our teams never become Spurs because that would just way too painful. Like 15 years and waiting for a trophy. But
For something that it's like every season you go through the same. Will we win? Everybody's telling you no, and you're telling yourself, yes, I can do this, and then you don't win for 15 years. Man, yeah. Yeah, I
Tough.
see why some of them are the way they are. It gotta like change your mindset somehow. Like it gotta do something to you. Yeah.
Yeah, your if you really love your team, it affects your emotional state. But yeah, to all the Spurs fans watching, I'm sorry. We'll keep you in our thoughts and prayers. Honestly, I think it might be another 15 years. But on that note, thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back again next week with another episode. We appreciate all of our listeners and followers and everybody that supports us. And we'll see you guys next
Happy
week.
New Year.
Happy New Year. See you guys in the new year. Happy
Yes.
holidays. Happy New Year. See you guys in 2024.